Stay from 9 to 8 every workday. No fun at night, gotta hit the hay. But on Friday, now you've worked all week long. It's time to get out and say, what's up, Hong Kong?
Hi, welcome to What's Up Hong Kong, the show where we tell you what's going on in Hong Kong this week and meet some of Hong Kong's most interesting people. It's March 12th, and our guest today is Prerna Agarwal of Fill in the Blank. How are you, Prerna?
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Am I getting the enunciation, like, where's the emphasis on the syllable? Is it Agarwal or Agarwal, or I don't know. How do you say it?
Agarwal?
Agarwal?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Prerna Agarwal. And I think we should clarify for the listeners that your place of business is actually called Fill in the Blank. It's I'm not asking you to get the listeners to guess what the name of the place is. It's called Fill in the Blank.
Yes, we actually had customers email us saying, so what's the place's name? They would think fill in the blank and then the address below. And
So yeah, we're coming from the venue itself. It's we got some people here in the background enjoying themselves. It seems like kind of a chill evening here, so I'm glad you were able to sit down with me. And let's learn a little bit more about you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Grew up in Hong Kong and went to international school here. Then graduated and went to college in New York, Parsons School of Design, studied communication design. Finished that, stayed for a few months, then came back to Hong Kong and was doing a bit of freelancing. So I was a bit of a brand consultant and helped out companies redesign or reinvent their logo, or helping up startup companies as well. And freelanced for about half a year to a year. And that became a little bit more organized, and I was able to make extra time to maybe do whatever I liked. So with that extra time, I just started thinking of an idea, and I think it was me and my brother driving along Wan Chai. Everything about Fill in the Blank came around the area. Like different spots came out, different ideas, which made this space up. So me and my brother driving along Wan Chai, and I told him, we need a space in Hong Kong where people can go and have fun and relax and not be surrounded by alcohol. It's when you want to relax night where you're just drinking maybe a little bit, but it's not the focus of the night. And he agreed. He's like, we invite friends over all the time to play board games, watch a movie, have some food. You can't really do that outside of home, and sometimes you just don't want to go to a person's home.
Right.
Maybe the space is small.
But you're exactly right. If you are looking for a place, you're kind of restricted to either a coffee house or a bar.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's either alcohol or coffee. Pick your pick.
And as a freelancer, I wanted a space where I could do work. I didn't want to sit in a cafe in a small table. I didn't want to sit in a very serious workspace where as soon as I reached there, I'm like, all right, work. But I wanted a place where I could just relax, take it easy, do a little bit of work here and there, and get stuff done. So me and my brother talked a little bit more about it, and we're like, it can be done. It's not been done yet. And that's where it started from.
Beautiful. And what is it you love about Hong Kong? Well, if you do love it, you've been here for a pretty long time.
I think I love how it's just at that tipping point of how it's turning into New York City.
Yeah, I always compare the cities. They're very closely related to each other.
Just at that point where they've become more open-minded. I remember back in high school, if anyone wore a bright green shirt, just even a bright yellow shirt, people would definitely look at you twice. There was no such thing as bright colors and crazy hairs. You're composed. You be who you should, proper. You don't get into people's personal space. The fact that you can have like Gangnam Style going on an MTR station would not be okay back then. And so I love how they're just at that point where anyone can start anything now. This is the time where you can experiment and really see what Hong Kong has.
It's becoming the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
Excellent. Tell us about Fill in the Blank. What is it that you guys do here?
Fill in the blank. It's a place where you fill your day. You have little gaps in your day. It could be whatever gap you want. An afternoon lunch, an evening coffee, or a nighttime leisure space, or during work, an event. We call ourselves a creative social space. Before we were named a creative workspace, but we realized that it's more than just working, and we just call it a creative social space now. So you can come here and do whatever you like. Maybe come here and work, or play some board games with friends, watch a movie on the projector, play the PlayStation, or read a magazine, get lunch, bring your own food, get a bottle of beer, and just sit down and relax. Or we have a lot of birthday parties and corporate events and marketing, just anything. And
What kind of different events do you have here?
we've done a few TEDx events. We've done a few corporate openings, like we had Sony and Logitech doing their product launches. So really nice, because they're always looking for a creative space. We've always actually had a lot of people who are interested in filming, like having their product filmed in the space. I'm still not understanding why. At least once a month, we get 2 people saying, "Can we film our product in your space?" And I don't know how to respond. I'm like, "Of course.
Film it.
Are you sure? Like, do you need anything changed?"
Are they going to move everything out?
But I realized, I asked them, and they're like, "We want something that looks like a home, but it's not too homey.
Right.
But it gives that homey feeling, but in a commercial space."
Yeah.
And that's what we're a bachelor pad, basically. We've got everything you want, but you're not at home. You're not. And in Hong Kong, most people are still living with their parents or nearby or in the same city, or they're living in a very small space.
Right.
So.
No, it's a pretty funky space you got here. I can tell that it was built with a designer, a professional designer, because there's so much cool stuff all over the walls. It's just funky.
So that entire wall is completely painted in whiteboard paint.
Yeah.
So you can just draw all over that wall. And we're gonna get a henna artist. Her company's called Sarah's Henna, and
cool.
she's gonna be drawing that entire wall by hand. She's
Wow.
just gonna decorate it all.
Yeah, that's excellent. So
I'm gonna see. We try to add a little bit of. So we partner, like we do workshops. So she comes in and does henna art, or we get stand-up we have comedy nights. We have all these different evening events happening. So she's one of them, and we try to work with them to do something just a little bit outside of the.
So you get creative people that come in here,
Yeah.
and then they're like, you know what, I like this place. I'm gonna help it out by, painting on the walls or
She was
or whatever,
She's like,
or have a
"Please let
workshop
me."
here.
And I was like, "Of course, please." Just like this was painted by a friend of mine. The girl holding balloons, which are vinyls.
Oh yeah,
And,
that's neat. See, these are all good ideas for making a cool spot.
Yeah, and then these are done by me from college.
Oh, okay. Well, those are really cool. Are those actual people that you are?
Yeah, so that's my really close friend, Jason. And then these are all classmates. And then this one is me.
By the way, we're looking at faces on the wall, paintings of faces. It's hard to be in an audio medium and then point out, oh, that's a cool thing on the wall.
I mean, a crayon drawing of a friend of mine.
Oh, that's crayon?
Yeah, and
that's
the
impressive.
left one is ink.
Okay.
And then the one behind you are 5 of the same kind. I think they're 6 inches by 6 inches.
It's
Each
very
one took 6 hours.
Warhol-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took 6 hours, and I had to make the same thing 6 times in different colors by paint.
So those are all hand painted,
Yeah.
but they look like exact copies.
And it's not me. 19 other students had to suffer through this.
Wow.
It's not just me.
It's a tough project. All right. Well, I would definitely ask anyone that's listening to come by just to check it out, see if this space can make them a little bit more creative, and then they can decide for themselves whether the next time they have an event or a workshop or something, they can host it here.
Or anyone who's thinking of trying to do something crazy. We're more than happy to work with you if you have a crazy idea.
All right. So if you're a straight-up psychopath, you know where to come. Fill in the blank in one shot. All right. This is a very unique location, and you kind of gave us just kind of the influence for the idea to start fill in the blank was kind of just walking around the city and seeing that they needed a space like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Hong Kong in need of more places to be social and creative in general, I guess? That's pretty much the impetus for starting this, right? Yeah.
I think there's enough creativity and enough social events going around in Hong Kong. And I think they're at a good pace, but I feel there's a lot of need for creativity to be in more leisure businesses, where like less social business, like taking corporate events, for example. And when they do team building, add creativity to that. Don't just put them in a conference room and make them talk to each other. Bring them out. Bring them to a space like this. So bringing creativity to something that's not necessarily very social in like, events like music festivals and all that. I think Hong Kong has that, and they're doing a great job of it so far at a good pace. But I feel like there's creativity lacking in businesses that already exist.
Does Hong Kong society in general need to focus more on being social and creative?
Yeah. I think they're getting pretty social, and I feel that that's really good right now. But the creativity is still, they're either reaching too far and missing it, or they're just not doing it at all.
Yeah. Was it difficult to establish fill in the blank?
No.
It's been pretty easy.
I mean, I worked really hard, but it just kept paying off. So in that sense, it was easy. Like, I understood if I put effort into it,
yeah,
something will come
I guess
up.
that question is just for the people who are listening that might be thinking about starting something new for themselves. And I guess is that your tip as far as how to execute on an idea and make it somewhat of a success?
I have no idea because I feel I work too much. So I don't know if I would recommend it.
So your tip is to work too much.
No. Everyone is their own person, I guess. My brother, he can accomplish what I can accomplish. If I do something that takes me 3 hours, he'll finish it in 10 minutes.
Right.
I mean, not that I'm very slow, but he's that, he's that talented or he's that efficient. So different people, for him, that's not his way of making a successful business happen. He has something else that he has to overcome. Right. But for me, I believe you should find out if you're passionate about it. I think if you, it doesn't mean that you have to be completely idealistic about it and very passionate and don't look at the serious side of it. Definitely look at the business aspect and be very practical about your passion. But you should be very confident that this idea will work no matter how many times I make a mistake.
So on a scale of 1 to 10 for passion for fill in the blank, you're at what, like an 11, 11.5?
Definitely.
Okay, excellent. Well, that is a good idea to do something you're passionate about. Like,
yeah.
I'm just doing this as a hobby, but I love podcasting. It's a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, and exactly. I mean, if you can be very practical about it, you can make your passion a reality. What happens with creative people, especially people like me who graduate from a communication design background, we never learn the business aspect. It's not taught well at all in our curriculum. Okay. The only reason this business is working is because of my mom and my dad. Like, they're, amazing at business. So my mom would, every time I'd be a designer, I'd be like, Mom, I want this and this. And she'd be like, no, let's be honest. And I was like, what do you mean? And they'd be like, listen, dream high, but be realistic. And
yeah. What's the business plan?
Yeah, exactly. They would be like, all right, show us numbers. And I'd be like, what? No. We'll just make something beautiful. People will just love it. And it took a lot of time, and it took a lot of me trying to understand, the business aspect of it.
I think it's finding the space in between those two ways of thinking that really makes life great. If you can get in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Do something you're passionate about, but make it sustainable and make it successful.
Exactly. Like, I feel like I have the creative side, and I feel my family has that other side that I need. So every time I'm, looking at my business, right now, at this very moment, I think I'm at that sweet spot where I've got that perfect amount of balance. And I'm a little bit cruising and seeing where it goes.
Okay. So what kinds of groups and people should take advantage of fill in the blank?
Oh, which kind of groups of people?
Yeah. What kinds of people do you think would get the most out of the space here?
I guess we get every kind. Like, yesterday we had a family. Yesterday we had all these the young crowd watching stand-up comedy, and then another night we'd have adults. The space can be for anyone.
So there's no common thread here. You really attract all sorts of different people.
I mean, we had this festival in January called Our House, and every day we had a different theme. So one night was entertainment night, one night was food night, and it just accommodated every sort of crowd. Okay. Like, one night we'd have all local people, another night we'd have all expats. It was just...
Sounds like you're really making the most of the space that you have here. Yeah. It's very versatile.
We have enough crazy people in Hong Kong.
Cool. Are you surprised by some of the groups that have wanted to use the space here? Or has it all made perfect sense to you?
No, it hasn't. You know what? The filming crew.
Okay, right.
Like, the people who wanted to film their product in the space, I just don't get it. But I understand when they said, I want a home, but not home.
Yeah.
Like, the open kitchen makes it a little bit more commercial.
Yeah. Well, you know what city this space reminds me of is it's like a San Francisco or a Portland or Seattle maybe. One of those funky West Coast cities in the United States.
I have a really close friend in San Fran right now. He's working in a startup, and one day he comes by. He was visiting back in Hong Kong, and he says, this is what San Francisco needs. Like, I really think this would be very nice there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they wouldn't have something like this there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're setting up starting a chain then.
I know.
Fill in the blanks
I told David,
worldwide.
I was like, all right. I mean, my friend David.
Franchises.
Go for it.
Very cool. Has fill in the blank shaped up to be exactly what you thought it would be when you started out?
Not one bit.
Well, how did you imagine it would be 6 months in after you started?
I don't remember. I know I wanted a space like this, but I couldn't understand what I wanted it for.
Okay.
Even when I opened, I had an idea of where, practicality-wise, with the business aspect. I was like, all right, I'm going to target more of the working crowd, like freelancers. And as it opened, I realized that I wasn't the perfect working space environment. It was more, I was targeting the people who had to get work done. Like they had a deadline and they had to work and they had to work every day and they needed a place to go.
So that almost makes it seem more like a library or something.
Yeah, like exactly. And that's what I realized. And I was like, all right, well, I can accommodate people who are on the way and they just need to get a little bit of work done or students maybe, but it's not a space for full-time freelancers. Right. And that's what I'd imagined it to be. But I knew I was wrong. I knew that it wasn't right, but I couldn't understand why. But that's what I was targeting, and I never expected it to be this. It was very silly, but I didn't expect private events.
Right, okay.
I didn't expect people booking it out. And when I realized how much of a demand there is, I'm blown away that it's not part. I didn't think of it. Like now I'm like, what were you thinking? Of course people would, because it's such a small space that you don't have that. Usually you book out restaurants.
Yeah, you don't
those are
necessarily
big.
Walk into this room and you think, man, this should be a comedy club. They should make movies in here. This should be a soundstage.
That's true. I love that about the space. It's good. As long as I can always surprise someone.
So it's really has adapted since you started and probably is continuing to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And what kind of amenities do you have here at Fill in the Blank? We should let everyone know.
I think I mentioned quite a bit of it, but we have a PlayStation. We have about 500 movies and TV shows. When I mean TV shows, I mean every season of Friends, every season of Dexter.
Oh,
Go
wow.
Wild. We have a lot of magazines. Me and my brother, we've put all our hearts in our magazines. These are magazines from our home, from our personal collection. So we have Top Gear. We have all of Top Gear. We have all of the Monocle. We have all of the Wired. We have a bunch of creative magazines like Photoshop tutorials. So
ones with information that's pretty timeless for the most part. I mean, you're going to have to go through here every once in a while and weed out the ones that are like Windows 95.
Yeah.
No.
No, we're never going to throw out any of our Top Gears and Monocles. We're huge Top Gear and Monocle fans.
Oh, cool.
And then we have, what else? We have a lot of design inspiration books, also my personal collection that I've collected over the years. And I've got a little cubby for inspirational material that I've, little boxes or cards. We have a printer. We have a foosball table.
I love this list. It's ordered really well. You got printer, foosball table.
It accommodates both the working and the play. And
sure.
then
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi, yes, of course.
Drinks?
We're not like Starbucks where we just cut you off after 20 minutes.
All right.
When it comes to food and drinks, we allow you to bring your own. And it's all BYOB, bring your own. And sometimes they'll have something special.
Okay.
But me and James and the manager and my brother, we're all three huge foodies, and we all three love cooking. So
nice.
We always do something special now and then, but usually we just welcome anyone to bring in their own food.
Excellent.
I think and we have a bunch of board games: Catan, Monopoly, Connect 4, Mastermind, Dixit, name it. Monopoly Deal, which is the craze right now.
Monopoly Deal.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what these guys are playing over here? Okay, very cool.
A dartboard, sort of.
Ooh, okay, magnetic darts. I was gonna say a real dartboard that could ruin stuff in here pretty quickly. All right, cool. Well, yeah, if you think of anything else you want to mention, just feel free to blurt it out in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Books.
Couch you could take a nap on.
Yes.
Beanbag chair.
Yeah, beanbag chair, please. Yes, we were debating whether to keep this or not, but today 2 customers came in and sat down and just gave the biggest sigh, and I was like, I can't take it away after that.
It wasn't a sigh of depression; it was a sigh of relief.
I know.
Right?
And then I asked them. I went up to them and I said, how would you feel if I took this away? And they just looked at me. And I was like, crazy? I'm just debating. And they didn't know who I was. So I had to introduce myself. And they're like, no, we like it. And I was like, all right, sold. I'll keep it.
All right, cool. At least until somebody jumps on it too hard and pops it. And, you even have a canine companion in Fill in the Blank.
We have a little dog. She's very quiet.
What's his name?
Her name is
Tipsy.
Sorry.
Tipsy.
Yes.
I don't think I want to know where that name came from. You bought it when you were a little bit drunk.
I don't understand how it happened. I was 16 years old. It was for my birthday, and I hadn't started drinking. I don't know why I came up with a name, and I went up to my parents, who are very conservative people. Like, we don't, there was no such thing as drinking and all that back then. And it was a no-no. And I went up to them, and I said, what if I named her Tipsy? And my dad, the more scary person,
sure.
And he goes, yeah, I like it. And I just stared at him, and I was like, what do you mean? Are you sure?
Sure. Was that song like popular at the time?
No.
Everybody in the club get tipsy?
I really did not name my dog after that.
Okay, cool.
She used to bang into doors. She would walk out the door and I'd be like, Tipsy, and then as she'd look at me, she would just bang into the door. And
okay, well that makes sense now.
Yeah.
That's funny. And what are some of your favorite events that you've had here at Fill in the Blank? Does anything jump out in your mind as something that had to do with one of your favorite hobbies or something like that?
Let's see. One of my favorite events. I really enjoyed yesterday, but it's got nothing to do with my hobby. It was just a family.
Basically, a child was giving a musical recital, and then their family was here to kind of cheer them on.
It was a guitar studio, and they taught everyone to sing and play the guitar.
Oh, so it was actually several children.
Yeah, several children with their teacher,
and all the families were here.
And there were all these parents. It was a performance day.
Okay. So you were just impressed, or it made you feel good, or the looks on the parents' faces as they saw what their children were doing.
Like I was telling you, I never, at this age, looking at the parents now, at this age, I'm appreciating my mom more. Right. And I'm past that whole back in college and all that. So now when I look at my mom, and now when I looked at them yesterday, I was just like, wow, like they're so. I've been trying to imagine my mom, and I was like, wow, she must have been so. And I was just so proud, and I was just doing my thing, and
very cool.
So that was one. That was a very good one. But we've had coffee tastings, which I loved.
Okay.
He came in, and I thought the coffee tasting was going to be something, just people trying different shots of just pure coffee beans. But he actually had a dispenser, and he was boiling it and making it right in front of them, and it was amazing. And you could see everyone was just in awe, like, oh, this is great.
And you'll be having more of those coffee tastings, so
Sunday.
People listening should be listening out. Oh, every Sunday. So just stop in on a Sunday, and you can, if you enjoy coffee.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. And So how does it work as far as having an event here? How could I or the listeners have an event here?
Yeah, so you can come in on your own with a friend, and it's just $100 for 6 hours. Okay. Or you could do a workshop. And if you're interested, if you're doing something crazy and you want, or you have a workshop or idea, or you're in arts and craft, anything, you want a space to experiment. What we do is we offer you the venue. We sponsor the venue because I'm believing in your idea. So in that sense, we sponsor the venue, and we just do an entrance fee on top of whatever their fee is. So everyone that comes in.
Okay.
And then for private events, it's just depending on how many people and how many hours. So if it's 20 people for 3 hours, it's about 3,000. If it's 40 people for 6 hours, it's 10,000.
Okay. Gotcha. So basically contact Prerna and
Pardon?
Just contact you, let you know what's going on, and you'll give them a quote.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. And what can we expect from Fill in the Blank in the Year of the Snake?
All
What are
right.
the plans for the year?
Well, actually, we're looking for some people who are interested in doing something crazy. We're doing something on May 4th.
Okay.
That's a Saturday afternoon. It's we're planning on doing something between like a flash mob and an improv.
Okay.
But this is the difference. We're gonna have a concept behind it. Usually, what flash mobs are random people just suddenly dance.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no relation between that and fill in the blank. So we're gonna think of something very different that will relate back to our business. So there will be a concept behind it. There'll be a story behind it.
Okay. So this is still in development?
Yep. It's yeah. So we've got the entire film crew, and we've got a bunch of people who are participating, and we're always looking for more. So email us if you are interested in participating, and
we'll give out that email at the end of the show in the plug section.
And yeah, so we're doing that, and we're looking to do a lot of different creative events. So at the end of the day, after you finish work and you want to go somewhere and have a cup of coffee and just relax and learn and experience something new, you'd come here. May it be a comedy night or a live music night or a performance of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
You just come here and find it.
All right. So you got that to look forward to in the next few months, and then we'll keep track. And obviously my show will continue to let people know about some of the events that are going on here, fill in the blank, throughout the course of the year. So I guess that's pretty much everything I had to ask you about fill in the blank. Is there anything else you think we should let people know? No? Okay, cool. Well, maybe we'll get to know you a little bit better here as you join us for the rest of the show. Do you have any other hobbies that other things you're passionate about doing here?
I mean, I like a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So, yeah, anything pretty much. So, I read a lot of blogs. I'm a huge techie. I love cars. I love technology and all that. Very, very much into design. So, I think I read about 30 to 40 blogs every day.
Sound like a regular 21st century Renaissance woman.
Yeah, a little bit. And
that should be on your card from now on. I'll let you use that.
Yeah. So I do that, and I have like a personal blog as well. It's called like trydistracting.me. So try distracting me.
Okay. Well, everyone go check that out immediately.
It's mostly for guys. Girls might not appreciate it as much. There's like a lot. My dad, he's complained about it a billion times. There's cars, technology, and girls, and just it's photos of like beautiful cars and new technologies that have appeared and
the beautiful cars and the beautiful women.
Exactly. And my dad every morning goes, I go to work and I open it and girl, always girl. He's always
okay. Well, there you go, Dad. Good morning. All right. Any other groups in Hong Kong or elsewhere that you're affiliated with you'd like to mention?
No.
No, not really.
Not that I can think.
We're just gonna keep it focused on fill in the blank. How about that?
I mean, I just got back. It's been 2 years since in Hong Kong. I go to a lot of networking events and all that. Like I love going to TEDx or those social events as well.
Mm-hmm.
But no groups or anything that I'm part of.
Okay. Cool. Well, you're busy here, so I understand that. 7 days a week here at Fill in the Blank, by the way. Let me see. So the question I ask everyone, if someone was coming to Hong Kong for the first time and they only had 24 hours in the city, what would you tell them is the one thing they have to do while they're here for all those Hong Kong newbies?
If he's visiting Hong Kong?
Yeah. Only had 1 day in the city. What should they do?
Can I give like a bunch of ideas or one thing?
Well, it has to fit into 24 hours, I guess.
I guess I'm a huge foodie, so I would just take him on a food tour.
Okay.
So I would have, breakfast and brunch at Ula. Then I'd go to lunch at Kyoto Joe's.
Okay. Very nice.
And then I'd go to dinner at 001. It's like this hidden gem in Hong Kong, right in Central. And it's a speakeasy. So there's no sign. It's like a hidden black door and just with a doorbell. And on their business card, it's just a number, no address. And you call their number and it goes to voicemail and you leave a message. It's really... Wow. And it's amazing. It's a whiskey bar.
Sounds dangerous.
And it is.
I feel like the cops are gonna
it's
bust in any minute.
It's on, and it's right in the fish market. Like, it's right in the between the streets. So you actually have to go out of your way to find it.
Wow, that sounds cool. I want to check that out now that you talk about it.
So it'd be a food tour.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I'd say.
Well, that's a very good tip for people. You didn't just say take the Star Ferry or go to Victoria Peak. You
You could do that too.
No, I'm saying you're giving them good tips that other people wouldn't even think of. So yeah, go to the Speakeasy 001. Where is it? We can't tell you.
We can't. No, we can't. It's hard.
We
to
told
find
you
our
we'd
number.
have to kill you.
Basically, I love it, and they have the most amazing grilled cheese sandwich. I swear,
What?
I dream about
cheese. Grilled cheese and whiskey. Do you dip it into the whiskey?
No. So they're known as a whiskey bar, but they have amazing snack bar, like bar food. Just amazing.
Cool. I'm interested to try this out sometime. All right. Well, that's it for all my my grilling of you for the interview portion. Thank you so much for subjecting yourself to that. Let's get into a game, huh? Let's play a little What's Up or Down Hong Kong. Just 10 rapid fire items, and you just say up if it's something you're into, or down if you don't really care for it that much.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Video games.
Up.
Dancing up in the club.
No. Down. Sorry.
Legos.
Up.
Mondays.
Up.
St. Patrick's Day.
I'm indifferent. Down.
Okay. CY Lung.
CY Low.
Lung, the chief executive.
Oh, CY Lung.
Yeah.
Up.
Up. The New Territories.
Down.
July.
Up.
Classical music.
Up.
Hipsters.
I'm okay with either.
I think you should probably say up on hipsters
Up.
so you can make sure they come to your space here.
I love them, but I don't want, there's nothing I hate about them.
Okay, cool. We'll say up for that one. So not big on the New Territories, huh? You're an island
Well,
girl. You're an island girl.
Let's move along. Can we pick on something else that you were not okay with and answer?
So St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
Yes.
It's on a Sunday this year, which is kind of a bummer. 'Cause, people got to work on Monday. You can't go out and drink heavily.
I highly doubt that's going to stop anyone.
True, especially the Irish. Right? All right. You're cool with the chief executive? You think he's doing a good job for you? And you don't like dancing in the club? Dancing up in the club.
I'm like
Do
a
you
nerd.
dance?
I like being at home. And
You like music, right?
Yeah. I like music on my own.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
not
one of those people that are at home and you're just dancing around on your own when nobody's looking, or no, you just don't really dance at all?
I do. Yeah, I just don't.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think we learned a little bit more about you there. We won't push too hard here. Man, pretty awesome
Monopoly
game
deal.
of Monopoly Deal going on back here. Somebody just bought Boardwalk or something. All right. Let's do a little old news, huh? We'll just do some news stories from this week, and if you have any, I'll make some commentary. If you have any thoughts, you can chime in. But if you want to remain politically correct, you can abstain. That's fine with me. Story number 1. Roadside pollution in Hong Kong hit hazardous levels on Friday, getting up to a level of 193 in Causeway Bay, right near here. A reading of 100 is considered very high, and 200 is severe. When the level of pollution hits 200, people are advised to avoid standing near traffic and tall buildings. Luckily, there isn't much of any here, of either of those here in Hong Kong, right? No traffic and no tall buildings. Children, the elderly, and people who have heart and respiratory problems were advised to reduce physical exertion and outdoor activities. Any commentary on the pollution here in the city?
And what was it this week? Wasn't it past 200?
It was on Friday. I saw a story that said on Friday it was near 200.
I know my brother's telling me somewhere, I forget, not in Hong Kong, but it was 300 somewhere else.
Probably Beijing.
But yes, thank you. Yeah. It was these. I don't know. There's nothing to do about it. Like, they're just being.
Now, doesn't a lot of the pollution here drift across from Shenzhen anyway? Like, it's not really. Most of the pollution, a lot of the pollution here comes from Shenzhen. Like, it's mainland pollution. It's not ours.
But I know in July, the winds go the other way. I'm not sure the exact, where it's coming from, but you get it from below Hong Kong, and you're getting all this fresh clouds.
Right, right.
And that's the best. But I mean, about this notice is just, I heard it, we were talking about it a few days ago, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, what are they gonna do about it if it goes back?
I guess they're just encouraging people to put on their hazmat suits or whatever they have.
I remember when SARS happened, and everyone had signed a note by their parents to like give to the teacher about the temperature and wear a mask, and no one did anything. Like the parents just signed it off.
Huh. Well, what did that have to? I mean, what did the note do?
To tell your temperature. That yes, I checked my daughter's temperature and it's below 100.
Oh, okay. In order for them to go to school. Okay.
This is during SARS. Right.
So otherwise they'd have to stay home. Okay.
And at one point in SARS, we were home for, I think, an entire month. Like we just weren't allowed out.
Wow. And this is when
they started online classes.
Oh, they started doing online. So that'll be the future.
I know. We did.
When everything's too polluted to go outside.
And we were too young to go to other people's homes and everything. Parents would be like, no, like.
Nice. All right, cool. So you were here to experience it. I wasn't. So I'm glad you were here to give us that account of what happened during SARS. Okay, story number 2. Hong Kong is building or planning to build 2 new long neighborhood escalators like the ones that are already in Soho. One in Sai Ying Pun and the other on Pound Lane, which is about 5 blocks away from the existing mid-levels escalator. This type of escalator has been a boon for the business and nightlife around Soho, and the new ones are expected to have the same effect. I know that from personal experience, I know these escalators are a godsend for people with broken feet. So I'm glad that they're going in, at least until April 2nd.
April 2nd?
Yeah. That's a while. So yeah, any thoughts on more escalators here on the island soon?
I mean, that's great. I've been a little bit more spoilt than I'd like to admit. So escalators are great. Great.
Is fill in the blanks not in a very mountainous area of Hong Kong, right? You can.
Actually, you're right in between.
Oh, okay.
Because behind us is Kennedy Road.
Right. So
all so you can walk down from Shu Fai, which is all mountains.
Right. But no need for escalators to get here for the most part.
We have no. But if you're in the mood for an escalator, you can go to Hopewell Center. There's escalators.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's great that they have it. But I think in Hong Kong.
Well, I like basically in that area where you have the escalators, there's so much nightlife, so many art galleries and cool little shops that are going on.
And that's what I was going to say. With these escalators, it's not even about the fact that mobility is going to be a lot, getting from one place to another place is going to be easier. But along that, things are just going to open up. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. And that's the best part about it. Now,
that's like the coolest part of town. So it'll be even bigger and cooler.
It must be the coolest part of town.
Right. All right, cool. Last story. The South China Morning Post reported that elderly women in Hong Kong are resorting to crime in order to support themselves.
No way.
There were over 3 times as many arrests of women over 60 in 2011 than there were in 2001 for burglary and theft, with the number of such arrests reaching 926, and total arrests for any crime among 60-year-old or plus women reaching 1,286. Lack of financial support for the elderly and rising costs of living are cited as the main causes. In 2011, women over 60 made an average of 6,800 Hong Kong dollars a month, while men over 60 made about 10,000. Similar trends have been seen in Japan, Taiwan, and China. This is just kind of a sad story, but I think what do we need? Better support from the government for the elderly, especially the women. I mean, old men can use their bodies and lift things and do jobs that are more easily. Old ladies can't really do that.
I actually didn't know about that at all.
Yeah, sad story.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't think. I'm sorry. A lot of the women, I feel like they work pretty hard in Hong Kong. I don't think I can say Hong Kong is one of the places where women are not as badly judged. Like, women are taken the same as men. Like, women have the same work ethic as men. But I guess the whole idea that men can actually physically
it's the type of work
so
that they're
it's
doing.
more of that the women can. But
you see a lot of the women going around and they're picking up trash, they're recycling, doing what they can to get by, but maybe they just don't make as much money doing that.
I wouldn't even know how to solve that, because Hong Kong is not stopping. It's not getting any cheaper. It's not going to get any better.
Right.
I wouldn't even know what's the first step. Even if I tell the government to have better support, what is he going to try supporting?
Well, we're having. I mean, the government lately has had big budget surpluses, right? So they do have some cash that they can throw to as subsidies for the elderly, but that's just kind of addressing the symptoms, not the problem itself.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of more of that, more of the problem. Like, how can they just not have, they solve it themselves versus depending on something.
Yep, you got to teach a man to fish, teach a 60-year-old woman to fish, not give her a fish, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
All right, well, we're probably not going to solve that problem here, but we can share it with our listeners, and if they have any thoughts on it, they can definitely get back to us. All right, cool. So we got through the news, and I'm switching the way the show goes. I'll let you know, but I'll let the listeners know. I'm no longer doing 3 separate event sections, so I'm getting rid of It's the Arts, Sports and Rec, and the Get Out as different sections for different types of events. I'm just going to do 10 events every week, like hand-pick 10 events, things that I think sound cool, and I think people would be interested in. So we're just going to do the sections now called 10 events, and let's go through those 10 events and see what is going on in Hong Kong this week.
Yep.
We have a meditation event going on. The Inner Institute for Applied Consciousness Exploration are having a Silent City Sangha flash meditation at Lock Hing Lane Sitting Out area in Central on Wednesday, so that's tomorrow if you're listening to the show on Tuesday, from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. So this is basically a quick group meditation at lunchtime. It's pretty neat. Have you ever done any meditation?
I've done yoga, and my mom does meditation. I find yoga, I'm not able to relax. Like, it just, I'm not able to. When they say
it's physical exertion.
Yeah, when they say breathe out and let all your thoughts, I'm like, okay, no, it's just it's not happening. But I love the idea behind it. But the people that do it, I really appreciate them for what they do. Yeah. But I just am not able to do it. And I think the idea of doing a flash meditation is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's such a great, this is what,
This could be something you start doing here.
So we do yoga
cool.
here. And we did do like a meditation aromatherapy class.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really nice, but we needed to have more for dim lighting, more for evening time.
Okay.
But it was really nice to see it, and actually the person who organized it made me participate, and I was forced to, like, initially I was forced, but then at the end I really was able to let loose just a little bit, not as much as, they looked much more relaxed than I did, but I understood it, I love it.
Were you able to get in the lotus pose and levitate?
Oh yeah, I'm like, I can, I did like, I can do the poses, I just, I can't get that mindset.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, better luck next time, I guess. Next event, Creative Mixer at Fill in the Blank in Wan Chai on Wednesday, March 13th, 7:30 p.m. Prerna, what's up with that?
That's going to be... Okay, so you have all these networking events.
This is tomorrow. Hopefully you're listening to the show on the first day it comes out, so come in to Fill in the Blank, 7:30 p.m. tomorrow.
So you go to all these networking events,
mm-hmm.
and the first thing that happens is you get a label, you sign your name on it, and you stick it on, and then you're thrown in with the rest. Right? Basically, that's until
and you just awkwardly mill around, and hopefully somebody says hi.
Hi, because obviously you're all there to
and then you have this weird, awkward conversation. Yeah.
Why must there be that if you're already willing to meet you're there to meet new people. So why make it awkward? You're like,
right.
So this Creative Mixer is a creative networking. I think when people come in to meet other people, you should be able to bond and make a business deal, but still be able to make a connection initially without having to be like, hi, my name is Prerna. So how did you hear about this Creative Mixer? But have something else to talk about. Not the first thing is that. You're tired of hearing someone say that. So this Creative Mixer, come if you want. It's going to be a different way of...
No, not if they want. Come, definitely.
Come. Oh, sorry.
Even if you don't want to. Get here.
Come. I know. Even if you don't want to, check it out. No. Just a different way to meet people. We've planned something out where when you come in, you're not just slammed down with a name tag and...
You want this to be a surprise for when they get here? Okay, so we don't want to give away too much right now.
We'll have a guest speaker as well. This is organized by Cash Events and Entertainment.
Okay.
So we've partnered up with her, and she is one of the people that has come up to me and been like, tell me what you want to do. Like, think of something crazy and we'll do it. And completely open to it. And you find those sort of people very rare in Hong Kong. Like, you don't find many people that are in a business that have that mindset that, yes, let's go. Like, I don't care what happens.
Right.
So we thought of some ideas, and we're going to try it out. It's going to be our first one tomorrow, so it's all experimental, and we've never tried it before.
Okay.
So it'll be fun, and we'll have a guest speaker and as well. We'll do all that.
Wow, sounds awesome. I would definitely be in attendance, except I don't really go out other than just go straight home after work every day now.
It's not that bad. Come on, you're only on crutches. It's not. You're not on a wheelchair. If you're in a,
I'm sweating. It's awful. Okay. Let me see. Next event, Speak storytelling event. I feel lucky. You probably heard about this on last week's show.
Yep.
It's going on at Auto Lounge in Lan Kwai Fong, put on by friends of the show Corey Chu and Tanbir Singh, who were guests on the last episode. And if you remember all the way back to last week. So that's Wednesday, March 13th as well, 8 p.m. So this is kind of conflicting with yours. But let me see. $180 includes 2 drinks, only $100 for storytellers. So register immediately if you want to tell a story, and you can get a discount to get in and tell your story. And has Fill in the Blank hosted any storytelling events yet?
We have, and I love them. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's so... Actually, I never knew they existed. I was never friends with that many people who were, in the writing department or interested in literature. And I never knew there were clubs such as these.
Right.
And when I met someone who said they do storytelling, I understood what they were saying. But when I saw it, I was like, no way, this is amazing.
Yeah, they're cool.
There's so much expression on their face. And they change it beautifully. I loved it. So
yes, they're quite good at what they do. So I would recommend that one. So take your pick. Creative mixer, storytelling. There's lots of cool stuff to do on Wednesday night. So let me see. Next event. It's a wine event. The Hong Kong English Corner Meetup Group, learning about French wine while tasting, evaluating, and discussing in their new headquarters at Times Tower in Causeway Bay. Check meetup.com to join up. This is Friday, March 15th at 8 p.m. $200. Prerna, are you much of a wine drinker? No, don't get into the booze too much.
I'm a little cooler, but unfortunately not. I don't dance or drink that much. I drink now and then.
Okay, that's fair enough.
My parents appreciate wine. They did a whole course as well to learn about it.
Yeah, I just recently started drinking wine, but I'm more of a beer guy myself.
Yeah, I would have a beer, but I love that there's so much to wine. I love how you can study it and how you can really learn about it.
It's too much to get my head around, though. I always feel like I must be drinking poor wine because I don't know anything about it.
But, when you do learn a little bit about it and you're at a restaurant and you have that knowledge of just being able to pick your own wine and smelling it. I see my dad at a restaurant. He's just able to be like, this smells really nice. And you make a new connection with, the person serving you. And I don't know, it's just a different...
Yeah, my only wine education has come from the movie Sideways. Have you ever seen that one? Yeah, the wine movie. It's a good one. All right, an art event going on, affordable art fair at the Hong Kong Convention Center in Wan Chai for anyone looking to start their art collection at a low price. How's your art collection doing?
I mean, I love painting. I painted a lot of stuff. We're giving away 2 art fair tickets.
Really?
Yep. On the Wednesday night.
Oh. Okay. Cool. So show up and get your tickets for the Friday art fair. It's Friday. It's going on actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. So anyone who's into art should go check that out. But I want to get art. I want to have some in my house, and that's the biggest thing is that it's prohibitively expensive in a lot of cases for some really good art. But it sounds like
one of these. Not at all expensive.
Well, maybe you should go check it out and invest a little in let's see, maybe there's a little spot somewhere on this wall we could put a new painting or something. Oh, you probably have lots of friends who make art anyway. You could just make your own, really, right? You're an artist. All right. Next event, Saturday, March 16th, Zen at Work. At 10:30 a.m. and Mum's Swap Meet at 2 p.m. at Fill in the Blank in Wan Chai. What are these about? So these are going on Saturday.
Yep. So the Zen at Work, we're still tentative on that. So let's hold off on that before we figure out details. But the Mum Swap, it's I'm pretty excited after the family event yesterday, the performance night. I'm excited to see more parents. I don't know why. I feel like they have a different sort of energy that they bring in. So what's happening at this mom swap is all these vendors are here, and they're selling different items for, mothers or parents or children, and parents come here and they talk about the different organizations and all that, and it's just kind of like a bazaar for moms.
Okay. And who would you recommend attend? Like, anyone who's a mother?
Anyone who's a mom or a new mom, especially if like you're about to
if you're pregnant, if you're a mother, expecting mother,
thank you, come by
and you can actually get tips from all the other mothers about how
it's just
to
a little
raise
bizarre,
your child.
something low key but more comfortable and not so intimidating.
Cool. Sounds great. All right, moving on. Stand-up comedy at Takeout Comedy in Soho. Saturday night show is featuring friends of the show Pete Grella and Sean Hebert, and future friends of the show Vivek Mahbubani and Mary Ho. And that's going on, as I said, on Saturday at 9 p.m. It's $150. They also have shows on Thursday and Friday at 9 p.m., so whichever ones you can attend. I love stand-up, so I'm always talking about those kinds of events.
Oh, that's great.
I know you're into comedy, or at least you frequently have comedy shows here.
We have the same people at Comedy HK.
Okay.
And they they performed 2 days ago, so we have them monthly
Michael
as well.
Dorsher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Dorsher. He's crazy.
Haven't met him yet.
Oh, you should.
He'll
be a lot of fun to talk to.
Okay.
He won't be nice at all. No,
I don't know what to say about that.
Oh, in a nice way. He keeps pulling my leg.
Okay.
That's why. I'm saying he won't
teases.
be nice at you. This is payback because he'll know why.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So, not only attend go to the Takeout Comedy Show on Saturday night, but you can also look out for future comedy shows here at Fill in the Blank.
And they're amazing. Everyone there is great. They really do. If you're up for a little bit of a laugh, they really get it right.
Oh yes, definitely. I've seen many comedy shows here, so I've seen a lot. Maybe not most. I don't know. I've seen a lot of the stand-up comics that are here in Hong Kong, and they're really funny. So
I laugh. Yeah, I laugh a lot, but I laugh more inside my head. Like I find things funny, but I don't laugh out loud much. But
a lot of the humor is so Hong Kong specific, like especially for people that have been living here. It's extra funny.
And you know what's really good about them? They have diversity. They have people that just moved to Hong Kong or have been Hong Kong, and like Vivek, he's Indian and he speaks fluent Chinese. To have that, it's not.
He's actually going to be on the show next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So check that out too next Tuesday. Next event, Music and Beer, the Underground Rogue Show at Backstage in Central. The rock bands Don't Panic, League of Gentlemen, Ned Noble, and Teenage Girls will perform. Also, Hopleaf will be there with a selection of beers from the Rogue Beer Company, and that's Saturday, March 16th at 10 p.m., $120 at advance and $150 at the door. And I've been to Rogue Beer events before, and they are fantastic. The beer is delicious. I love American craft beers, and that's really what it is. And we already talked about wine, but are you into beer that much?
I mean, I'm okay with all alcohol. I have no love for one or the other more than the other.
But whenever it comes to beer, are you adventurous with what you try, or do you go for like I'll have a Bud Light?
I think the thing. No, I'm okay with anything. I usually just ask a friend to recommend what they're in the mood for and see what.
Okay.
But I think that sounds amazing. I've never actually heard of that.
Yeah, I would go check it out.
I know a friend.
Rock and roll and beer.
I know a friend who'll definitely be interested in that. She's thinking of doing something with craft beer and opening up something in Hong Kong.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, she would want to look at Hopleaf because they're kind of the biggest craft beer distributor right now in Hong Kong.
Victoria, can you?
Yeah, go check out this event and try out the Rogue beer. It's really good.
She probably knows about it.
Probably. Sunday, March 17th, luxury coffee tasting at 11 a.m. and an entrepreneur event at 3 p.m. at Fill in the Blank in Wan Chai. What are these all about?
Actually, these are two of my favorite ones. They've all been success. Like they've just beautifully been run. The people who are organizing it are amazing. They're completely.
Yeah, we heard about the coffee tasting event
Yes,
already.
You heard about the coffee tasting. It's about $200 to enter your RSVP because we need to see how many tables we need to organize.
Mm-hmm.
So your RSVP you can pay at the door though, and just learn a little bit about coffee and have fun. And the entrepreneur event in the afternoon after the coffee tasting, it's $50 to enter, or if you're a student, for free, and it starts at 3 p.m. The coffee tasting is at 11 a.m.
Okay.
So the entrepreneur event is at 3 p.m. and you just come in, and it's a time for you to talk to someone next to you who's starting up something, or even if you're not, just It's very creative. It's a very creative buzz.
Yeah.
And they have a guest speaker come in. This is more of the typical networking events, actually. But it's more very local with a good mix of expats. It's a very good crowd. You get a very different sort of people. So they have a guest speaker who's started up something from either from the United States or somewhere else, and they talk a bit about their business.
Okay. Excellent. So any aspiring entrepreneurs, come check it out. All right, and the last event, we should also mention Sunday, March 17th, as well, we already did, but it's St. Patrick's Day, and there'll be lots of festivities going on, but I wanted to specifically mention a St. Patrick's Day celebration by Jameson Irish Whiskey at the Whiskey Priest in Central. It sounds like kind of the premier event to go to. It's going on all day, and, perhaps the most famous Irish whiskey combining forces with one of the premier Irish bars in Lanquai Fong, so go check that out. And so that's 10 events that are going on this week that sound super cool. What do you think?
I love how every event is different, and I love how Hong Kong's like welcoming all of it. They're not,
yes. Definitely. So hopefully our adventurous listeners will go check those out this week. And so that'll lead us into the next, we're almost finished up here, but we want to play our favorite game, 5Q. And that's the game where we just ask you 5 questions, and you give us your best answers you can. We'll keep track of your score and see how you do. What do you say?
All right.
All right. So question number 1, you play the saxophone. Name 2 of the 3 famous people that I'm aware of that play the saxophone.
I do play the saxophone.
Right.
That's
what I said.
But I do really play the saxophone.
Okay.
2 saxophone artists that you know?
Yeah.
Kenny G.
Right.
And another one?
Not necessarily saxophone artists, but people that I'm aware of that play saxophone. Sure. Kenny G, 1.
Me?
Well, are you famous yet?
No. I wouldn't know.
You are now, as far as I'm concerned. But, worldwide.
No. Don't know another one.
One person's animated. They're not real.
Oh, from Simpsons?
What's her name?
Huh?
What's her name?
Oh, Lisa.
Lisa
Yes,
Simpson.
Of course.
Yes, correct. That was actually 2 of the 3 people on my list here. I have them written down. The other,
what was the third one?
Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So good job. 1 for 1. Excellent. Question 2. Have you seen any of the Harlem Shake videos recently?
Yes.
Okay. True or false, an earthquake could be felt in New York City at some point in the last year?
What's that got to do with the Harlem Shake?
Well, if there's an earthquake in New York, then Harlem's shaking. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
There was.
Sorry, false.
What? There was an earthquake?
There was one that was felt there in August of 2011, but that's over a year. That was on, a year and a half
That's
ago.
a trick, because this year just started.
It's a tricky question, but it's 2011. That was like a year and a half ago.
Thanks.
I felt that or my area of the world. I was there when that happened.
I was, when was it? 2011?
Yep.
What month?
August.
I wasn't there.
Maybe you just left?
I just left, that's what, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So you must remember that a little bit then, hearing about it. You had some friends that felt it. Yeah. All right. So you're 1 for 1. That was a tricky one, but I think you're in good shape here.
What's
the Harlem Shake? New York
There's this
earthquake.
amazing Harlem Shake with 2 models, like 2-3 models doing it. It was great. You should be 2
There's
models.
some hot ones out there. All right, question 3. This New York-based school was attended by the famous fashionistas Marc Jacobs, Donna Karan, Isaac Mizrahi, Anna Sui, and as well as famed artist Norman Rockwell.
This art school?
It's a school in New York where all those people attended at some point.
I really hope it's not Parsons. Is it Parsons?
Is that like your answer?
I would say Pratt School of Design.
It's Parsons School of Design. Parsons School of Design. Where Prerna attended design school, right? So, man, so close on that one. Man, so you're 1 for 3 now. Did you enjoy your time at Parsons?
Can you not make it sound like that? So sarcastic. Yes, I did. I wasn't like a Parsons.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Question number 4. You fancy yourself a rugby fan. Who were the 2 teams in Hong Kong in the Hong Kong Sevens finals last year? What? Oh, she's staring at me evilly, people.
There's a reason for this. I have a terrible memory.
Okay.
No, seriously.
Hey, I can relate on that.
You could ask anyone I know. If I've literally introduced people who introduced me to them. Like,
well, do you remember who won? Well, the team that didn't win was dressed in all black.
This is not gonna. I just don't remember team names.
The All Blacks. You know.
All Blacks.
Yeah, are you familiar with that team? Okay. It was Fiji and New Zealand.
Oh yeah,
Fiji and New Zealand. So who's going to win this year? That's my follow-up question for you. This isn't one for the game, but just your opinion.
I have no idea.
Who do you like?
I mean, I'm indifferent.
Okay.
I enjoy rugby, but I'm not much of
you do like rugby, though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So my research wasn't incorrect on that.
Nope. You just, I'm not like, I just have a, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to finish strong here. We don't want you to get only 1 out of 5 because that would be the lowest score that we've gotten on the show so far. But lots of other people have gotten 2, so you'd be in good company. So, question number 5: who is Hong Kong's funniest stand-up comedian?
Not Michael Dosher.
Okay, so we've established who it's not. At least one person that it's not.
I would have to say I forgot his name, but I know what he looks like.
Oh, what's he look like?
Okay, so he was. He had black hair and he had a little bit of a fluffy beard and he was very like big.
Huh.
Very black hair, kind of young. Definitely looked like a young father. Michael Dosher would know.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a 1.5.
I'm thinking of an Indian gentleman.
Vivek
Mahbubani. Next week's guest on the show. So, whoever's going to be next week's guest on the show is currently the funniest comedian in Hong Kong.
Great.
No, he actually is really good. He's award winning, right?
He is. I haven't heard him, so.
Oh, you haven't?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. So that was actually an unfair question. I'll give you the point for that one. Okay.
A pity point. Thank you for that.
So good job. 2 out of 5. You finished strong. there. And
sorry about that.
Go see Vivek and do some stand up whenever you get a chance. Though it's great.
I mean, I talked to him for a bit, and he was good. I didn't hear him.
Cool. All right. So thanks for playing the game.
Sorry about that.
This game's always harder than I think it's going to be.
No, it's because trust me. Don't count me as your.
No, trust me. People have a hard time with these games, even though a lot of the questions have to do with them.
I'm really good at Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to finish up with the plug section, last part of the show. Going on this week, tonight, Tuesday, when the show comes out, tonight is actually Arts and Crafts Night.
Yep.
Here.
Oh, yes.
And so there you have a workshop on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. for Zen and Work. Also, Mom Swap Meet at 2 p.m. and Sunday Luxury Coffee and Entrepreneur event. So check out fillintheblank.hk for all the times and all the events going on all month. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, most Wednesdays are games nights, but not this particular week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not this particular week.
But yeah.
We'll have maybe a few games.
Cool. All right. And so yeah, fillintheblank.hk. You can email IWANTTO, that's IWANTTO at fillintheblank.hk for more information, or call 2891-7792. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/fillintheblankftb, and they're at ftb_HK on Twitter. And you can also follow Prerna at Prerna316. So is that like a Bible verse thing with the 316?
That's no.
Oh, okay.
Me and my brother are both born in January. He's born January 3rd. I'm born January 16th.
So 316. Okay, I got it. Interesting. All right, cool. And is there anything else that we should mention as far as plugs?
No, that's great.
We good?
Yes.
Okay, cool. As far as the show, What's Up Hong Kong, if there's an event coming up you'd like to mention, just let me know. You can contact me at TravvyJ, TravVyJ at speakhk.com. Follow me on Twitter at speakhk, facebook.com/speak.hk. Subscribe to the show on iTunes and on Stitcher, and leave a rating and review, please. That would be awesome. And listen to the other podcasts on our network, Dear HK. They're doing great stuff. And that's pretty much it for me. Any final words for the listeners?
Thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate it, and hope to see some crazy people from this radio come by.
Yeah, definitely. I think people's eyes will be open to the cool things you're doing here at this cool spot. So hopefully we'll see them come in, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So for Prerna Agarwal, this is Travis Jones signing off. That's what's up.